Anna Hoffman here with Traffic Generation Cafe, and this is my blog Audit Friday. Today we'll be looking at a website that is called Lawns for You. It's www.lawnsforyou.com. This website is owned by one of my email subscribers, Colin Gray, and just in case if you're interested on how you can get me to come over to your site and audit it for you, you can subscribe to my email list, and I do monthly drawings for my blog audits. So Colin was a winner for this month, the month of March. Well, without further ado, let's take a look at Colin's website, lawnsforyou.com, and see where we might suggest he makes some changes to make his website more user-friendly, more search engine friendly, and bring in more traffic and more sales. Wouldn't we all love that? I know I would. Anyway, so here's Colin's website. And I thought what I was going to do today is kind of give you a few pointers on how to audit your own website, which is of course is very difficult to do because we tend to be way too subjective about it. But if a friend of yours, another blogger, another business owner asks you to do that, these are a couple of things that I would suggest you look at. So the first point here is overall stickability. We need to make our traffic take action, and we need to make sure that that action is not clicking back to wherever they came from. And in order to achieve that, I suggest a couple of things to take a look at. For instance, we need to be visually appealing. Of course, again, this is very subjective, but that's what split testing is for. Looking at Colin's website, I understand that it's all about lawns, grass, and thus a lot of green color. Unfortunately, to me, when I look at this website, it just looks a bit like an auto blog because it has no personality. It has very generic background, as you can tell. I understand, you can mow lawns diagonally like this, but and the little avatar here in the header is just a little too bland. All the headers are the same background, just not working very well for me. Now, the next point that I would like to bring to your attention is we need to be clear on what our site is about. And we do it both in our tagline and in the title. Now, here we see lawns for you, so immediately we do know that this site has something to do with lawns, right? Now, if I want a little bit more explanation on what exactly the site is about, I would need to read this tagline, a guide to lawn care, blah, 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 which is great, but it's such small font that it really doesn't jump out at me, and the chances are I will miss it as I'm trying to explore this particular website. So I would definitely make this tagline in your header a lot bigger and more visible than it is right now, Colin. And I would definitely get rid of this avatar right here. So this green thing that I'm trying to highlight. Anyway, you got the point. Just make it maybe a little bit more personal. And the reason why I would love for you to make it personal, because I know you provide local services, local lawn care services, and you're based out of UK. So when your local offline customers come to your site, I would think that they would want to see right away that they're dealing with a person or a family, maybe in your case, rather than a faceless website. I'm sure that you can retain a lot more people that come to your blog to visit your site if you make it a little bit more personal. Another thing that I would include in overall site stickability, what I call, is giving people fewer options to explore. When I'm at your site, I see a lot of things right away above fold that I can do. There are a lot of buttons in the navigation bar. There is a sign up for lawns for you email newsletter, Facebook button, start here, free book, visit shop, a lot of different things. When you give people too many different things, this is what happens. I come to your site, I do this. Okay, I scroll. There's just a lot of different buttons everywhere. Now, mind you, your ideal customer probably is not an internet marketer by any means. So when I look at your blog, I know what this sign up form is for because, hey, I'm in the niche where people sign up for lists all the time, right? In your particular case, that's not true because your customer is very, very different. Your customer comes from possibly offline, like through your lawn care services, maybe some from search engines, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. Maybe from paid ads. I don't know if you do any of that, but you need to know, and I'm a little bit jumping ahead of you myself, excuse me, here, because that was one of my points, that we as site owners always need to ask ourselves, who is our customer, and design our website according to them. So, too much talking, I suppose. Let me show you what I mean. So, for instance, in your case, Colin, chances are people are not that come to your blog do not know what this means. Sign up for lawns for you, okay? Because they're not familiar with the forms, and yet this form is right at the top of your sidebar, which means that you give it the most priority. Which brings me to another question. What is your call to action? With call to action, we need to determine what our most important call to action is and focus on funneling our readers towards that goal. And of course, most of the times we have more than one goal. For instance, I can show you my blog. I have two goals in my blog, and that is affiliate marketing and building an email list so that I can do more affiliate marketing. So ultimately, it's the same goal, but there are really two primary steps that I want my readers to take. So when you look at my website above fold, you see my header and you immediately can see what my site is about. I would hope. There are very few navigation buttons right here, very minimally. There is a big sign up form right here, and there's a reason why this button is in orange, in bright orange, because it makes it stand out. So it's kind of very easy for people to understand what I want them to do. Another sign up form, some reviews down here, a few more affiliate products here. So I have two goals, and I'm sure it can always be better, but at this point I think I did a pretty good job at funneling my readers that way. So that's exactly what I would like for you to do, is choose what you want for them to do. What the main action should be. Do you want them to sign up for your free book and get on your list? Possibly, but from what I know about your niche, might not be the best move because people don't really care about getting emails about lawns. Most people don't anyway. So then you have a shop, which is probably one of the primary things that you want your readers to do, is to visit your shop and buy things from you, right? And the secondary goal that I might imagine is the lawn care service that you provide right here. So those, to me, should be your two primary goals. And with that in mind, what I would do is I would take out this sign up form. If you want people to get on your list, then put it down here somewhere because it's not your primary goal. I would basically take it out altogether, quite honestly. Facebook. Very few of your readers like you on Facebook, which is nothing against you. But the thing is that people don't come to your site to like you on Facebook. They come to know more about lawns, and that's your primary objectives, right? So I would take that out altogether. Start here is a good is a great widget to have in your particular case, because people who are not quite sure what your site is about always can start here. And in your case, Colin, I would move this up in the first place. And also, you have another one, where to start. Well, if you tell people in your navigation bar where to start, then they might not click on lawn shop, which you want them to do, or lawn care services, which you want them to do. So I would cut down to a couple of maybe lawn care services, lawn shop, home definitely, and maybe just do contact about me on one page. That's it. I would decide right here, free ebook or visit shop, which one is more important, and leave only one for people. Basically, make it as easy as possible for them to get to your shop or to get to your lawn care services page. Testimonials are great for a business like yours, so I would definitely move it up in your sidebar and make it maybe a little bit more visible. Now, blog posts are great, and I don't know how many readers actually choose to take a look at them, but I've seen a lot of very good information here. Okay, so that's what I would do as far as your blog is concerned. And by the way, the slider here is, in your particular niche, I think it works pretty well because it does capture my eye, albeit the fact that it has more green in it, but it does capture my eye and wants me to take a look at what these pictures are about. So I would keep it there. So let's take a look at our SEO here before I bore you to death. So your website is all about lawns. We've established that. So I assume that you would like to rank for keywords that direct people who are interested about lawns to your site versus any other site. In your particular case, you might get a lot of local business owners, local customers, which is absolutely fabulous. That's what you would want to do. But also you have a reach across country as well in the UK in your case. So we want you to be ranked on local search engines, for local listings, and for your overall country listings as well. I doubt it that anybody in the United States will want to shop for lawn care services in the UK, so that's not your target market. Your target market is the UK, and more narrowly, is there such a word? Well, now there is. So, yes, where was I? I meant to tell you also right here, your customers probably don't know what these buttons are. Take them out. That would be my suggestion, especially RSS feed. Nobody's going to probably subscribe to it because they don't know what that means. Your customer is not that kind of customer. So let's take a look at your SEO and see if you are bringing in any traffic from search engines. My favorite way to spy on other websites, and right now we are, with permission, spying on Colin's website, SEMrush.com. I find this tool absolutely fabulous and indispensable for any kind of SEO research. So here's what I found out about Colin's website. As you can see, I added lawnsforyou.com right here, and it checks both www version and non-www version. So Colin right now ranks for only two keywords, stop moles, which, as you can see right here, is in my area. Another thing too, most of the SEO tools that you use, no matter what they are, they will pull out Google results from your local database. So right now I'm located in Berkeley, Oakland area. So all the results here that I see will be geared towards this area. When you take a look at these results, you'll probably see something very different. So it doesn't seem like there's much interest in malls, I can see only 22 possible searches in a month in this area. And then you also rank for lawn bowls green maintenance. I don't even know what that means, but there are even fewer searches here. So my bet is you're not really getting that much SEO traffic as of right now, but I bet you would want to. Here's another thing that I want you to see. SEMrush pulls the results from Google. So whatever the results you see here on the screen is what Google thinks of your website. Because you're somehow ranking for lawn bowls, I assume you have a post that you wrote about that, but no other keywords. Now SEMrush is pulling up your competitors, and most of them don't really have to do with lawn care in general, but mostly about lawn bowling, whatever that is. Like for instance, lawnbowls.com and lawnbowlinggreens.com. And I bet you this is not the kind of competition that you want to be in. You want to go for something more generic like lawn care. But right now, Google doesn't really think that your site is related to lawn care because it's not ranking you for any of the keywords. So we need to change that. So what I did with SEMrush, forget about these competitors because they don't reflect the true intention, I believe, that you have with your site. So I opened another tab right here, and instead of putting in your website, I added a keyword lawn care. Now, it doesn't mean that that's the kind of keyword you should go for. I'm not doing a keyword research here. I'm just giving you an example of what I would do and how I would narrow down your niche and your search. So I put in lawn care here, and SEMrush pulled out a bunch of keywords, possible keywords right here. And as you can see, in my area alone, lawn care brings in 27,000 monthly searches. Scott's Lawn Care, of course, Scott's is one of the producers of all kinds of gardening supplies and dirt and whatnot. So these are all the possible keywords that you can potentially target. And also down here, you have related keywords report. You have over 2,000 keywords here and your competitors. So lawncare.net, lawncare.org, all these websites potentially would be your competitors. Now again, you are in the UK, so you might see something very different here, and that's absolutely fine. It's just the idea of how to search for this kind of information. It's pretty much the same. So as you can tell, lawn care is in high demand. There are lots of searches being conducted on a daily basis for these kind of keywords. So we need to gear your website towards focusing more on the keywords where you can actually pull in some search engine traffic. Now, something of note here, I'm doing this blog audit at a time when Google is making a lot of changes to its algorithms. So we don't know what's going to come out. We don't know. They're talking about heavily SEO websites. I don't even know what that means. I'm not sure if Google knows what that means, but basically they don't want you to do any SEO. But at the same time, if you don't do any SEO, then chances are your site will never rank for anything. So that makes no sense. So just to give you an understanding that whatever I'm talking about right now, Google might change in a couple of weeks, months, years, who knows. But we basically have to go with the trend. So we talked about possible keywords that you need to focus on. Now let's take a look at what you are actually focusing on. And this is a page source for your homepage. The way I pulled it out is I'm in Chrome right now, and I went into View, Developer, and View Source right here. That's how you get to this page. And this is not exactly how Google reads your website, but very, very similar to it. So what I need to see is what your title for the page is, as well as your description. So I'm going to do a search for the title, the word title, and we want to do it, go at the very top, and here's your title for the blog: Lawns for You, Lawn Care Advice, and mowing tips for a perfect green lawn. So you have some keywords in there, which is great. Lawns, lawn care. You also have a few characters that don't need to be there, like and or for a. I would definitely shorten your title. It's a little bit too long right now, and focus more on the your main keywords, like lawn care, for instance. That would be a good one. Oh, of course the phone has to ring while I'm doing this. Excuse me for a second. Na, 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 na. Okay, and that's somebody that I don't need to hear from. Oh, yeah, yeah. Anyway, going back to the blog audit, that's the pleasures of working from home, huh? Anyway, so now I need to take a look at your description. And description is what will show up in Google search results. Let me see if I can. Chrome is not a good search engine to do this in. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So right now I'm going to look up your description, which is basically what people see in the on Google when they search for your website. And it says Lawns for You by grass care expert Duncan Gray, that's your father I assume, offers lawn care advice, lawn mowing tips, blah blah blah. So it seems like you have some very good keywords in here, which is wonderful, because this is one of the key elements of how Google would determine, barring any changes of course, what the relevance of your website is. And when Google takes overall look at your website, basically they're looking at two things. They're looking for on-page indicators of what your website is about, and that's where things like the title and the description that I showed you, also referred to as meta tags, that's where this comes into play. Other things that are important are your headers, like this: sign up for Lawns for You, that's a header. Like us on Facebook. These blog titles right here, they're headers. When you, let's do that. Let's visit one of your posts, and so this would be a header. Ooh. Okay, this is a header. So all the things that are considered headers, whatever keywords you use in them, which in your case, I think you do a fairly good job at that. Whatever keywords you're focusing in is what Google will think of your site. Another way Google determines relevancy, as of right now, of course, things will change eventually, are the links that lead to your website from other websites and the anchor text that you use in those links. For instance, if you were to leave a comment at Traffic Generation Cafe, and you will leave a comment with your name field as Colin Gray at Lawn Care, then lawn care will become your keyword linked back to your blog. And the more links like that you have, the more relevant Google will find your site to the term lawn care, because it says that other sites are linking to you with that keyword, so you must be important, right? So that's why link building is important. And just to give you a little bit of a comparison, I'm going to try to keep it shorter than this. But anyway, a good place to look for that is Market Samurai. If you are in doubt that Market Samurai still works and still does a good job, just read my review on the product, on the software. I'm going to enclose the link down below, but I still use it pretty much on a daily basis. So here, the keyword I'm using is again lawn care. Not that you have to use that keyword, but it's a nice keyword. And these are the results that right now populate the first page of Bing. And as you can see, some of them are related to my area, specific area, like Oakland Hills brush clearing. So when you do the search, you will see the results that show up in your area. So, and here's what your website, Colin. I added here by pressing this button, add custom URL, and we're going to cancel it, and it added your website here so that we can compare it with your with the other folks that are listed on the first page. You of course are not, so we can see what they have on you that you don't. And for instance, in my particular market, I see a couple of websites like this one. It's in the in position number 2, and this one position number 7. They're both local websites, and they really have very few links going to them. They don't have any on-page SEO, meaning they don't have their keywords in title, URL, or description. You can see ends right here. And yet they rank. Most likely they're ranking because they might have published some fresh information on the topic, and Google sometimes ranks certain websites for freshness, but then they will go down in rankings for in a couple of days. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but as you can see, if they were able to get on the first page of Google for lawn care, so can you. So your on-page SEO, once again, is fairly good. I'm with a few tweaks, I think that you will do pretty well. And the next thing that I would suggest is link building, both internally. And what I mean by that is, as I look through your blog posts, you don't have any links from between your posts. So if I'm a casual reader and I'm kind of going through some of your blog posts, you leave me nothing to do at the end of the posts. If I'm interested in, I want to know more about streamers, and if you have a different post on the same subject, I would interlink streamers to the other post, and that's how you do interlinking. And Google pays attention to that as well. It's not just for your readers, but it basically encourages search engine bots to navigate your site from one page to the next, which is a very good thing. We want to encourage that. So if you were to hyperlink the word streamers to a different post you wrote, then the Google bot, as it scans your this particular page, it will jump into the next blog post on streamers and crawl that as well. So interlinking is very important, and I don't see you do enough of it. And link building as well. You have a few links going to your site. For instance, right here we see some data from Majestic SEO. You have 152 unique domains that are linking to your domain name, so which is good. So you've done some link building, and that's great. We just need more of it so that Google will recognize that you're relevant on the topic. Anyway, I'm done. I'm sure you're done. If you have any suggestions for Colin, I would love for you to leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about his website, what I might have missed, what other suggestions you can make for him. And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Blog Audit Friday. Again, if you'd like for me to have a chance for me to audit your blog or site, just make sure to sign up to my email list at www.getfreeseoreport.com, and then I do monthly drawings for my blog audits. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you next time. This is Anna Hoffman with Traffic Generation Cafe.